Humans touched the stars. The year was 2150, and Earth was buzzing with excitement. After years of hard work, humans had finally done something amazing. They had built a spaceship that could travel faster than light. This wasn't just any spaceship. It was big, shiny, and could zip through space like nothing before. Dr. Sarah Chen stood in front of the massive ship, her heart racing. She had led the team that made this dream come true. The ship was called Starhopper, and it was about to change everything. "Are we ready?" Sarah asked her team. They all nodded, their faces a mix of fear and excitement. The countdown began. 10, 9, 8. The whole world was watching. 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. Starhopper roared to life. It shot up into the sky, leaving a trail of bright blue light behind it. In seconds, it was gone, moving faster than anyone could see. Back on Earth, people cheered and hugged each other. Humans had done it. They were now a spacefaring species. Days passed, and everyone waited for news from Starhopper. Then, on the 5th day, a message came through. Captain Mike Rodriguez's voice crackled over the radio. "Earth, this is Starhopper. You won't believe what we found." Sarah and her team huddled around the speakers, listening closely. Mike's voice was shaky but excited. "We've made contact with alien life. I repeat, we've made contact with alien life." The room erupted in cheers and gasps. Sarah couldn't believe her ears. Not only had they traveled faster than light, but they had also found aliens. It was more than they had ever hoped for. Mike continued, "They call themselves the Zordians. They're not what we expected. They look like giant talking jellyfish, but they're friendly. They've invited us to their home planet." Over the next few weeks, Earth was in a frenzy. News of the aliens spread like wildfire. People were both scared and excited. What would these aliens be like? Were they really friendly? Meanwhile, in a far corner of the galaxy, news was spreading too. The Galactic Empire, a group that ruled over many alien races, had heard about the humans. They weren't happy. Emperor Xaxon, a tall, scaly creature with 4 arms, paced in his throne room. "These humans," he hissed, "they could be a threat to our power. We must learn more about them." Back on Earth, Sarah and her team were preparing for a big moment. The Zorbians had agreed to visit Earth. It would be the first time aliens set foot, or in this case, tentacle, on human soil. The day of the visit arrived. Thousands of people gathered to watch. A sleek, silver ship appeared in the sky. It landed softly in a field, and everyone held their breath. The ship's door opened with a hiss. Out floated 3 Zorbians. They were beautiful, with transparent bodies that shimmered in the sunlight. Their tentacles moved gracefully as they approached the human delegation. Sarah stepped forward, her heart pounding. "Welcome to Earth," she said, smiling nervously. The lead Zordian, named Blip, responded in a musical voice. "We are honored to be here. Your species has achieved much in a short time. We look forward to learning from each other." As humans and Zordians talked, they didn't notice a small, dark ship hiding behind Earth's moon. Inside, Emperor Xaxon's spies watched closely. They sent a message back to their leader. "The humans have made contact with the Zordians. They seem powerful." Xaxon received the message and frowned. "Powerful? How powerful?" His spy continued, "Sir, they've mastered faster-than-light travel. And there's something else, something strange about them. We need to investigate further." Xaxon's frown deepened. He didn't like surprises, especially ones that could threaten his empire. "Keep watching," he ordered. "I want to know everything about these humans." Back on Earth, the meeting with the Zordians was going well. They shared stories, traded information about their cultures, and even tried each other's food, though the Zorbians politely declined to eat solid food. As the day ended, Blip turned to Sarah. "We have a proposal," the Zorbian said. "We'd like to invite Earth to join the galactic community. There are many species out there, eager to meet you. Sarah's eyes widened. This was huge. We'd be honored, she said, but we have so much to learn. Blip's body flashed with colors, which Sarah guessed was a smile. Don't worry, the Zorbian said. You've already shown great potential. We believe you'll do amazing things. As the Zorbians prepared to leave, promises were made to meet again soon. The whole world felt like it was on the brink of something big and exciting. What they didn't know was that their actions had set bigger things in motion. The Galactic Empire was watching, worrying, and planning. Humans had touched the stars, but they had also caught the attention of powerful forces. In his distant palace, Emperor Xaxun made a decision. These humans, he said to his advisors, they could be useful or dangerous. We must be careful. Watch them closely. Learn their weaknesses. As night fell on Earth, Sarah looked up at the stars. They didn't seem so far away anymore. Humans had taken their first steps into a larger universe. It was exciting, but also a little scary. What adventures and dangers waited for them out there? One thing was sure, nothing would ever be the same again. Humans had touched the stars, and the stars had noticed. Aliens get shocked. 3 months had passed since the Zorbians' visit to Earth. The whole galaxy was buzzing with news about the humans. Everyone wanted to know more about these newcomers who had mastered faster-than-light travel so quickly. On a small rocky planet called Ceylon, a group of alien scientists huddled around a screen. They were watching a video sent by the Zorbians, showing humans doing everyday things. "Look at that!" exclaimed Dr. Zilks, pointing a tentacle at the screen. That human just lifted a heavy box without touching it. The other scientists gasped. They had never seen anything like it before. Meanwhile, on Earth, life had changed a lot. Humans were learning about the galaxy and their new powers. It turned out that leaving Earth's atmosphere had awakened something in them. They could now do things that seemed like magic. Sarah Chen, the scientist who had led the Starhopper project, was in her lab. She held out her hand, focusing hard. Suddenly, a ball of energy appeared, floating above her palm. She smiled, still amazed by what she could do. Just then, her assistant ran in. "Dr. Chen, you need to see this." He turned on a big screen on the wall. The screen showed a busy street. People were going about their day, but they were doing incredible things. A woman was floating as she painted a building. A man was talking to his friend who was miles away, their voices carried by some unseen force. A child was playing with toys that danced in the air around her. Sarah's eyes widened. "It's not just me," she whispered. "It's everyone." Far away, in the heart of the Galactic Empire, Emperor Xaxun was not happy. His spies had been sending reports about the humans, and each one made him more worried. "They can move things with their minds." He roared, his scaly skin turning a dark purple in anger. "They can create energy from nothing. This is impossible." His chief advisor, a small green alien named Yorp, tried to calm him. "Your Majesty, perhaps we should try to make friends with the humans. They could be powerful allies." Saxon's eyes narrowed. "Or they could destroy us all," he hissed. "No, we must find a way to control them before they become too strong." Back on Earth, the Zorbian ambassador, Blip, was meeting with world leaders. The jellyfish-like alien floated at the head of a long table, its body flashing with colorful lights as it spoke. "We are amazed by your rapid progress," Blip said, its voice musical and soothing. "In just 3 months, you've mastered abilities that take other species years to develop." The human leaders looked at each other, a mix of pride and confusion on their faces. One of them, President Maria Rodriguez, spoke up. "We're still trying to understand these powers ourselves. Can you tell us more about them?" Blip's body rippled, a sign of excitement. "Of course, it seems that humans have a unique connection to the energy that flows through the universe. When you left Earth's atmosphere, that connection awakened. Now you can tap into this energy at will." As the meeting continued, News was spreading across the galaxy. On countless planets, aliens watched in awe as videos of humans using their powers went viral on the galactic internet. On a desert planet called Dune X, a group of tough-looking alien mercenaries watched a video of a human lifting a car with their mind. "I bet the Empire's shaking in their boots," one of them laughed. "These humans could give them a run for their money." His friend nodded. "Maybe it's time we found some new employers. I hear Earth's nice this time of year." The Empire was indeed worried. In a secret meeting room, Emperor Xaxun and his top generals were planning their next move. "We must test their strength," said General Kraz, a tall alien with 4 arms and a face full of sharp teeth. "Send a small fleet to Earth, not to attack, but to assess." Xaxun nodded slowly. "Yes, but be careful. We don't want to start a war yet." As the Empire plotted, Earth continued to change. People were using their new powers to solve problems and make life better. Deserts were turning green as humans learned to control the weather. Diseases were disappearing as people discovered they could heal with a touch. Sarah Chen stood on top of a tall building, looking out at her city. People flew past her, going about their business in the sky as easily as they once did on the ground. "We've come so far," she said to herself, "but I can't help feeling this is just the beginning." Little did she know, high above the Earth, a fleet of Imperial ships was appearing out of hyperspace. They hung in the darkness, watching, waiting. On the bridge of the lead ship, Captain Zork peered down at the blue planet. "So this is Earth," he muttered. "Let's see what these humans can really do." As night fell on Earth, most humans slept peacefully, unaware of the eyes watching them from above. They didn't know that their newfound powers had not only amazed their alien friends, but had also terrified the mightiest empire in the galaxy. The stage was set for a confrontation that would shake the very foundations of the universe. Humanity was about to face its first real test in the galactic community, and the whole galaxy was holding its breath, waiting to see what would happen next. Empire picks a fight. The Imperial fleet hung in space just beyond Earth's moon, hidden from human eyes. Captain Zork stood on the bridge of his massive ship, staring at the blue planet below. His orders were clear: test the human strength, but don't start a war. At least, not yet. "Sir," a young officer called out, "we've detected a small Earth ship heading our way. What should we do?" Zork's lips curled into a smile. "Perfect. Let's give them a warm welcome." On that small Earth ship, astronaut John Lee was excited. This was his first solo mission to the moon. As he approached his destination, something strange appeared on his radar. "Houston, are you seeing this?" John called back to Earth. "There's something big out here, and it's not the moon." Before Houston could respond, John's ship shuddered. A bright light engulfed it, and he felt himself being pulled towards the massive alien vessel. Back on Earth, alarms blared in every major city. The Empire had been spotted, and they had taken one of Earth's own. In the White House, President Rodriguez called an emergency meeting. "We need to respond," she said, her voice firm. "But we can't start a galactic war on our first day out there." Dr. Sarah Chen, now Earth's top expert on alien relations, spoke up. "Madam President, let me go. I can take a small team. We'll talk to them. Try to get John back peacefully." The president nodded. "Do it, but be careful, and if things go south, well, show them what humans can do." Within hours, Sarah and a team of 5 others were aboard Starhopper II, racing towards the Imperial fleet. As they approached, Sarah's heart raced. This was humanity's first real test. Captain Zork watched the human ship approach. "They sent 6, he laughed. "This will be easier than I thought." Suddenly, Starhopper II vanished from his screens. Zork blinked in surprise. Where did they go? On the bridge of Starhopper II. Sarah grinned. They had used their new powers to bend light around the ship, making it invisible. "All right, team," she said. "Let's go get John." Using their mind powers, the humans phased through the hull of Zork's ship. They floated silently through the corridors, unnoticed by the alien crew. They found John in a cell, looking scared but unharmed. Sarah put a finger to her lips, then used her powers to unlock the cell. John's eyes widened in amazement. Just as they were about to leave, alarms blared throughout the ship. They had been discovered. Intruders on board. Zork's voice boomed over the speakers. Find them and capture them. Sarah looked at her team. Okay, new plan. John, stay close. Everyone else, remember your training. Let's show them what humans can do. As Imperial soldiers rushed towards them, the humans sprang into action. They moved with incredible speed, dodging energy blasts and tossing soldiers aside with their minds. Sarah faced off against a group of soldiers. She raised her hands, and suddenly, the soldiers' weapons flew out of their hands, disassembling in midair. John watched in awe. When did you all learn to do this? Sarah grinned. A lot's changed while you were up here. Come on, let's go home. They fought their way to the hangar where Starhopper I was docked. Imperial ships were closing in, weapons ready. We'll never make it through that blockade, John said, fear in his voice. Sarah put a hand on his shoulder. Watch this. She closed her eyes, concentrating hard. Suddenly, a shimmering energy field surrounded Starhopper I. The team quickly boarded. As they took off, the Imperial ships opened fire, but their energy blasts bounced harmlessly off Sarah's shield. On the bridge of his ship, Captain Zork watched in disbelief as the tiny human vessel escaped through his blockade. Impossible, he muttered. But the humans weren't done yet. As Starhopper I sped away from the Imperial fleet, Sarah turned to her team. Let's leave them a parting gift. Together, they focused their energy. A massive wave of force erupted from Starhopper I, washing over the Imperial fleet. Alarms blared on every ship as systems went haywire. Zork stumbled as his ship shook violently. What's happening? He yelled. Sir, an officer replied, panic in his voice. All our systems are shutting down. We're drifting. As the humans watched, the once mighty Imperial fleet floated helplessly in space, their ships dark and powerless. Sarah opened a communication channel. This is Dr. Sarah Chen of Earth. We came in peace, and we're leaving in peace. But remember this, Earth is not to be trifled with. Spread the word. With that, Starhopper I zipped away, disappearing into the darkness of space. Back on his crippled ship, Captain Zork stared at the spot where the human ship had been. He had underestimated them, and it had cost him dearly. As emergency power slowly came back online, Zork knew he had to report this to Emperor Xaxon. But how could he explain that 6 humans had defeated an entire Imperial fleet? On Earth, crowds cheered as Starhopper I landed safely. President Rodriguez met the team as they disembarked. You've done it, she said, her voice filled with pride. You've shown the galaxy that humanity is a force to be reckoned with. Sarah nodded, but her expression was serious. Yes, but this is just the beginning. The Empire won't take this lying down. We need to be ready. As night fell on Earth, its people celebrated their victory. But in the vast darkness of space, the gears of war were beginning to turn. The Empire had picked a fight, and humanity had answered. The galaxy would never be the same again. The big secret. 2 weeks had passed since the humans' victory over the Imperial fleet. Earth was buzzing with excitement and fear. Everyone wanted to know, where did these amazing powers come from? Dr. Sarah Chen sat in her lab, staring at a glowing ball of energy floating above her hand. She had been studying the humans' new abilities day and night, trying to unlock their secrets. Suddenly, her computer beeped. Sarah's eyes widened as she read the screen. This can't be right, she muttered. Just then, Blip, the Zorbian ambassador, floated into the room. Dr. Chen, I sensed your distress. What's wrong? Sarah looked up, her face pale. Blip, I think I've found out where our powers come from. But it's impossible. Blip's body rippled with curiosity. "Tell me," the alien said gently. Sarah took a deep breath. "According to these readings, our powers come from the universe itself. We're not just using energy. We're part of it. Like we're made of the same stuff as stars and galaxies." Blip's body flashed with bright colors. "Ah, you've discovered the great secret," the Zordian said. "We wondered how long it would take you." Sarah's jaw dropped. "You knew?" Blip nodded, or at least did something that looked like a nod. "We suspected. Your species is unique in the galaxy. You're the only ones who can tap into the cosmic energy so easily." As Sarah and Blip talked, news of the discovery spread quickly. All over Earth, people were amazed and a little scared to learn about their true nature. In New York, a street artist named Miguel was painting a mural. As he worked, his brush never touched the wall. Instead, colors flowed from his mind directly onto the bricks, creating a beautiful image of humans reaching for the stars. In a small village in Africa, an old woman named Amara was teaching children how to heal. She held her hands over a boy's scraped knee, and a soft glow appeared. The wound closed up like magic. "Remember," Amara said to the wide-eyed children, "this power comes from the universe itself. We must use it wisely." Meanwhile, in the depths of space, Emperor Xaxon was not happy. He paced back and forth in his throne room, his scaly skin turning dark colors in anger. "How?" he roared. "How can these humans be so powerful?" His advisor, Yorp, stepped forward nervously. "Your Majesty, our spies have learned something. The humans have discovered the source of their power. They're connected to the cosmic energy of the universe." Xaxon stopped pacing. "What? That's impossible. No species can do that." Yorp gulped. "It seems the humans can, Your Majesty. And there's more. Other species in the Empire are starting to ask questions. They wonder if they might have hidden powers too." Saxon's eyes narrowed. "This could destroy everything we've built. We must stop it." Back on Earth, world leaders had gathered for an emergency meeting. They sat around a large table, their faces serious. President Rodriguez stood up. "We have a big decision to make," she said. "Now that we know the truth about our powers, what do we do with this knowledge?" Some leaders wanted to keep it a secret. Others thought they should tell everyone in the galaxy. As they argued, Sarah Chen walked into the room. Everyone fell silent. "I think I know what we should do," Sarah said. She waved her hand, and a hologram appeared in the middle of the table. It showed the Milky Way galaxy. "We're part of something bigger than ourselves," Sarah continued. "These powers aren't just for us. I think we're meant to help wake up the rest of the galaxy." The room was quiet for a moment. Then, slowly, people started to nod. President Rodriguez smiled. "Dr. Chen, I think you're right. But it won't be easy. The Empire will try to stop us." Just then, Blip floated into the room. "You won't be alone," the Zordian said. "Many species are tired of the Empire's rule. If you lead the way, they will follow." As the meeting continued, humans all over the world were discovering new ways to use their powers. In Japan, a group of scientists figured out how to clean the oceans using cosmic energy. They stood on the beach, directing glowing streams of power into the water. Pollution simply disappeared. In Brazil, farmers learned to make crops grow in minutes instead of months. They walked through their fields, touching plants gently. Wherever they touched, fruits and vegetables sprouted instantly. And high up in the Himalayas, a young monk named Tenzin made an amazing discovery. He found he could look into the past and future. As he meditated, visions of ancient civilizations and far-off worlds filled his mind. But not everyone was happy about the changes. In a dark room somewhere, a group of humans met in secret. "These powers are dangerous," one of them said. "We should find a way to get rid of them." Another nodded. "And what about the aliens? Can we trust them?" As Earth buzzed with activity and new discoveries, no one noticed a small dark ship landing in a remote area. A hooded figure stepped out, looking around carefully. The figure pulled out a communication device. "This is Agent X," a voice whispered. "I'm on Earth. Operation Shutdown is ready to begin." As night fell, most humans slept peacefully, excited about their new place in the universe. But dark forces were gathering, both on Earth and in space. The revelation of the big secret had set events in motion that would change the fate of the entire galaxy. The stage was set for the biggest challenge humanity had ever faced. Would they use their newfound knowledge to bring peace to the galaxy? Or would the Empire and other dark forces find a way to stop them? Only time would tell. But one thing was certain: nothing would ever be the same again. Space gets crazy. The galaxy was in chaos. It had been 3 months since humans revealed the secret of their cosmic powers, and everything was changing fast. Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of Earth's newest starship, the Cosmic Surfer. Through the big window, she could see a strange sight: a huge space traffic jam. "I never thought I'd see a traffic jam in space," Sarah said, shaking her head. Captain Maria Lopes laughed. "Well, when every planet in the Empire suddenly wants to talk to humans, this is what you get." Ships of all shapes and sizes floated around them. Some looked like giant fish, others like floating cities. All of them were trying to reach Earth. Suddenly, a small, fast ship zipped past them. It looked like a shiny dragonfly. "Hey, no cutting in line," shouted Maria. But the ship was already gone. Back on Earth, things were just as crazy. Aliens from all over the galaxy were arriving every day. They all wanted to learn about cosmic powers. In New York's Central Park, a group of humans was teaching some furry, 6-armed aliens how to lift rocks with their minds. "Concentrate," said the human teacher. "Feel the energy flowing through you." One of the aliens squeezed all 6 of its eyes shut. Slowly, a small pebble began to float. "I did it," the alien shouted, so excited that it dropped the pebble on its foot. Meanwhile, in the underwater cities of Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, humans were helping a race of fish-like aliens to heal their dying ocean. "It's working," bubbled an alien through its gills. The once dark water was starting to glow with life. But not everyone was happy about these changes. In his palace, Emperor Xaxon was having a very bad day. "What do you mean? Another planet has left the Empire?" He roared at his trembling advisor. Yorp, the advisor, tried to hide behind his datapad. "It's the Blorbians, Your Majesty. They say they want to be free like the humans." Jackson's face turned a deep purple. "Those humans, they're ruining everything." Just then, a guard ran in. "Your Majesty, the Zorkian fleet. They're deserting. They say they're going to Earth to learn about cosmic powers." Jackson fell back into his throne. His empire was falling apart, and he didn't know how to stop it. Back in space, Sarah and Maria were finally reaching their destination: a secret meeting of rebel aliens. As the Cosmic Surfer landed on a small hidden moon, Sarah saw a surprising sight. Aliens of all kinds were working together, building what looked like a giant machine. A tall, crystal-like alien floated up to them. "Welcome, humans," it chimed. "We are the Resistance. We've been fighting the Empire for centuries, but now, with your help, we might finally win." Sarah looked at the giant machine. "What is that?" The crystal alien's light pulsed with excitement. "It's a cosmic energy amplifier. With this, we can spread the power to awaken cosmic abilities across the galaxy all at once." Sarah's eyes widened. "That's amazing, but also scary. Are we ready for that much change?" Before the alien could answer, alarms started blaring. A voice boomed out, "Imperial ships approaching. This is not a drill." Everyone scrambled. The half-built machine started to spark and shake. "It's not ready yet," shouted the crystal alien. Sarah looked at Maria. "We need to buy them time." Maria nodded and ran back to the Cosmic Surfer. Sarah closed her eyes, reaching out with her mind. She could feel the Imperial ships getting closer. Suddenly, the space around the moon shimmered. Sarah had created a huge invisibility shield. Inside the shield, the rebels worked faster than ever. The machine grew bigger and brighter. Outside the shield, the Imperial ship stopped, confused. Where had the moon gone? On the lead ship, Captain Zork, who had been demoted after his defeat by humans, scratched his scaly head. I don't understand. It was right here. Back on the moon, the machine was almost ready, but the shield was weakening. Sarah was sweating, struggling to hold it. "Hurry," she shouted. The crystal alien's voice rang out. "It's ready. Everyone, focus your energy on the machine." Aliens and humans alike raised their hands, tentacles, and other appendages. The machine began to glow brighter than a sun. Just as the shield fell and the Imperial ships saw the moon, a massive wave of energy burst out from the machine. It swept across space faster than light, touching every planet, every star, every living thing. For a moment, the whole galaxy seemed to hold its breath. Then, everywhere, things started to change. On millions of worlds, beings of all kinds suddenly felt a new power awakening inside them. Plants on dead worlds started to grow. Sick aliens felt their illnesses disappear. Even some stars burned brighter. On the Imperial ships, confused soldiers found they could float without gravity boots. Captain Zork accidentally made his uniform turn pink just by thinking about it. As the wave passed, Sarah collapsed, exhausted but smiling. "We did it," she whispered. The crystal alien helped her up. "No, human. You did it. You've changed the galaxy forever." As they watched, the Imperial ships turned and fled. The soldiers on board were too busy discovering their new powers to fight. News spread across the galaxy at light speed. The Empire's control was crumbling as beings everywhere awakened to their cosmic potential. Back on Earth, humans celebrated. They had done what they set out to do. They had helped wake up the galaxy. But as fireworks lit up the sky, a shadowy figure watched from a dark alley. Agent X spoke into a hidden communicator. "It's done. The galaxy is changing." Initiating Phase 2 of Operation Shutdown. The galaxy had indeed gone crazy, but the biggest challenges and adventures were yet to come. Empire's last try. Emperor Xaxun stood at the window of his giant space station, staring out at the stars. His once mighty empire was falling apart. Planets were rebelling, soldiers were deserting, and everyone was talking about those pesky humans and their cosmic powers. "This ends now," Xaxun growled. He turned to his generals. "Prepare the cosmic nullifier." The generals looked nervous. One of them, General Kraz, stepped forward. "But Your Majesty, it's not fully tested. It could destroy everything, including us." Xaxun's eyes glowed with anger. "I don't care. I'd rather see the galaxy destroyed than ruled by humans." As the Empire prepared its secret weapon, Earth was celebrating. The Cosmic Awakening, as people called it, had brought peace to much of the galaxy. Humans were making friends with aliens from thousands of worlds. In a big stadium in Rio de Janeiro, a strange game was taking place. Human and alien athletes floated above the ground, passing a glowing ball back and forth. The crowd cheered as a tall blue alien scored by throwing the ball through a hoop of pure energy. "And that's another goal for the Galactic Harmony team," shouted the announcer. "The Earth All-Stars better step up their game." But the party was about to be crashed. High above Earth, a shimmer in space appeared. A massive fleet of Imperial ships emerged from hyperspace. Alarms blared across the planet. The game stopped as everyone looked up at the sky. In her lab, Dr. Sarah Chen was the first to realize what was happening. She rushed to her computer, her fingers flying over the keyboard. "Oh no," she whispered. "They got a cosmic nullifier. If they activate that thing, it could strip away everyone's powers, or worse." She grabbed her communicator. "This is Dr. Chen. We need to evacuate Earth immediately." But it was too late. A bright beam shot out from the Imperial fleet, heading straight for Earth. Just as it was about to hit, something amazing happened. Millions of people on Earth raised their hands to the sky. A shield of pure cosmic energy formed around the planet. The nullifier's beam hit the shield and split into thousands of smaller beams, shooting off in all directions. On the Imperial command ship, Emperor Xaxon watched in disbelief. Impossible. Fire again. The nullifier powered up for another shot, but this time, Earth was ready. Sarah Chen stood on top of the highest building in New York, her eyes glowing with cosmic energy. Around the world, other humans and friendly aliens took similar positions. As the nullifier fired again, Sarah shouted, "Now!" Beams of energy shot up from every major city on Earth. They combined into one massive beam that met the nullifier's attack head-on. The two beams struggled against each other, creating a spectacular light show in space. Stars seemed to dim in comparison. On a small ship near Mars, Agent X watched the battle. He spoke into his communicator. "The Empire has made its move. Should we proceed with our plan?" A mysterious voice replied, "No. Wait and see. This might work out in our favor." Back on Earth, people were straining to keep the shield up. Sarah felt like her whole body was on fire. "We can't hold it much longer," she shouted. Just then, something unexpected happened. Lights started appearing all over the galaxy. On planet after planet, aliens were raising their hands to the sky, adding their power to Earth's beam. The Zorbian homeworld glowed like a blue sun. The crystal beings of Tarlon vibrated with energy. Even the tiny blip-blops, no bigger than Earth insects, added their small but significant power. A huge face appeared in the sky, a projection created by the combined powers of 1 billion worlds. It was the face of unity, of all the galaxy's races combined. The face spoke, its voice echoing across space. "Enough. This galaxy belongs to all of us. Empire, your time is over." A wave of energy burst from the face, washing over the Imperial fleet. Ships started to power down, their weapons disabled. Emperor Xaxon watched in horror as his mighty fleet became nothing more than metal boxes floating in space. The cosmic nullifier sparked and went dark. "No," Xaxon shouted. "This can't be happening." But it was. All across the galaxy, the last Imperial strongholds fell. Not in battle, but as soldiers and citizens alike chose to join the galactic community. As the Imperial fleet drifted helplessly, rescue ships approached. But they weren't there to attack. Instead, they offered help to the stranded Imperial crews. Sarah Chen, exhausted but happy, was on one of these rescue ships. As they approached Xaxon's command ship, she spoke into a communicator. "Emperor Xaxon," she said, her voice firm but kind. "It's over, but this isn't a defeat. It's an invitation. Join us. Be part of something greater than an empire. Be part of a united galaxy." For a long moment, there was silence. Then, a tired voice came over the communicator. We surrender. Help us." As the rescue ships docked with the Imperial fleet, people across the galaxy cheered. The Great War was over, not with a final battle, but with an act of unity and compassion. But far away, in a hidden base, Agent X received a new message. "The Empire has fallen. Cosmic powers are spreading. Initiate the final phase of Operation Shutdown. The real war begins now." As the galaxy celebrated, a new shadow was rising. The Empire's last try had failed, but an even greater challenge was just beginning. The true test of humanity's cosmic powers was yet to come. A whole new galaxy. 5 years had passed since the fall of the Empire. The galaxy was a very different place now. Planets that were once enemies now worked together. Species that had never met before became best friends. And at the center of it all was Earth, the planet that had changed everything. Sarah Chen, now the leader of the Galactic Council, stood on a platform floating high above a new city. This wasn't just any city. It was Unity, the capital of the entire galaxy. Built by 1,000 different species working together, it was a marvel of cosmic engineering. Sarah looked out at the crowd gathered below. There were humans, of course, but also Zordians, crystal beings, even some reformed ex-imperial aliens. All were here for the 5-year celebration of galactic peace. "Friends," Sarah began, her voice carried by the cosmic energy field around her. "Look how far we've come." The crowd cheered. Sarah smiled, but inside, she felt worried. Strange things had been happening lately. People's cosmic powers were acting weird, and there were rumors of a shadowy group causing trouble. As Sarah finished her speech, a small robot floated up to her. "Urgent message, Council Leader," it beeped. Sarah read the message and frowned. "I have to go," she told her assistant. "Keep the party going." Minutes later, Sarah was on board the Cosmic Surfer II, the fastest ship in the galaxy. As they zoomed through space, Captain Maria Lopes filled her in. "It's happening all over," Maria said. "Cosmic powers are going haywire. On Zorbia Prime, someone tried to water a plant and flooded the whole planet." Sarah nodded grimly. "And the Shadow Group?" Maria pulled up a hologram. It showed a dark figure in a hood. "We call them the Nullifiers. They're spreading some kind of anti-cosmic energy. We think they're behind the power problems." Suddenly, the ship shook. Outside the window, space itself seemed to ripple. "What was that?" Sarah asked. Maria checked her instruments. "Some kind of cosmic disturbance. It's coming from Earth." They changed course immediately. As they approached Earth, Sarah gasped. A huge swirling vortex of dark energy was forming above the planet. "It's the Nullifiers," Maria shouted. "They're trying to shut down the cosmic energy at its source." Sarah closed her eyes, reaching out with her powers. She could feel the struggle. The bright, warm cosmic energy fighting against a cold, dark force. "We have to stop them," Sarah said. "Get me down there." As they landed, chaos was everywhere. People's powers were going crazy. Cars floated in the sky. Buildings turned into jelly. In the middle of it all, a group of hooded figures were chanting around a strange machine. Sarah recognized one of them. "Agent X. So you're behind this." The leader turned. "Ah, Dr. Chen. You're just in time to see the end of your cosmic era." Sarah tried to use her powers, but they fizzled out. The anti-cosmic energy was too strong here. Just then, a familiar voice boomed out. "Need a hand?" Sarah turned to see Emperor Saxon, now just Citizen Saxon, leading a group of ex-imperial scientists. "We've been working on a device," Saxon said. "It can stabilize cosmic energy." Sarah grinned. "Well, what are we waiting for?" As the Nullifiers powered up their machine, Sarah, Saxon, and their team set up their device. It was a race against time. The vortex grew bigger. Trees uprooted themselves. The sky turned purple. "Now," Sarah shouted. They activated their device. A pulse of golden energy shot out, meeting the dark vortex head-on. The two forces clashed, creating a spectacular light show. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, slowly, the darkness began to fade. The vortex shrank. The Nullifier's machine sparked and died. "No," Agent X cried. "You don't understand. Cosmic powers are too dangerous." But it was too late. With a final flash, the vortex disappeared. The golden energy spread out, washing over the planet. Everywhere it touched, cosmic powers stabilized. As the light faded, Sarah walked up to Agent X. "Why?" she asked. "Why did you do this?" Agent X lowered his hood, revealing a tired face. "We were afraid," he said. "Afraid of what cosmic powers might do to the galaxy. We thought we were protecting everyone." Sarah put a hand on his shoulder. "Change can be scary," she said. "But look around. We've built something amazing together. Instead of fearing cosmic powers, why not help us use them wisely?" Agent X looked around at the city repairing itself, at people helping each other. Slowly, he nodded. In the days that followed, the galaxy came together like never before. The nullifiers, no longer in hiding, shared their knowledge. With their help, cosmic powers became more stable and controllable. A month later, Sarah stood again on the platform in Unity City, but this time, Agent X stood beside her. Today, Sarah announced, we start a new chapter. We faced our fears, overcome our differences, and grown stronger together. This is truly a whole new galaxy. The crowd cheered. Fireworks made of pure cosmic energy lit up the sky. Ships from 1,000 worlds flew in formation overhead. As Sarah looked out at the celebration, she smiled. The galaxy wasn't perfect. There would always be new challenges. But for the first time, she felt sure that whatever came next, they would face it together. High above, the stars seemed to twinkle in agreement. In this vast, cosmic dance, humanity had found its place at last. The adventure was just beginning.